Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we will be reacting to the Champions League group stage draw. Now of course this season is going to be the last season with the current Champions League format. I think this is a very um important detail that I think a lot of people actually forgot or looked past, that this is actually going to be the last year where this format is involved. Now, I'm still kind of um, um, confused as to how the new, system and the new format is going to be. Now, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be something chaotic. It's going to be like 32 teams in one group, and the top 16 qualify, and then they're joined by 8 or something like that. But it's going to be very um, um, confusing, of course. But we'll obviously dive more into it when the time comes for that. But let's just enjoy this current format, because I actually think that this format is the best, really, for everyone. You know, if you're a team like, let's say, in this case, Sevilla, and typically you don't make it out of the group and you finish third, you realistically can just say, oh, let's just go into the Europa League. But with the new format, it's literally like a group. It's literally like a table. It's literally a league itself. So the Champions League is going to be one league itself to compete. And this just points back to what is the difference between asking every team across Europe to form a league and the Super League idea. Now, I'm not trying to say I support it. In fact, when it first came out, I was pretty um, against it, and I'm still kind of against it because I'm not interested in changing this Champions League system in any ways, and that means the Super League. That means the new Champions League format. I'm not interested in this new format at all. What I think a lot of fans like is the old version, the current version, which is might be old school, but it is simple and it's just the way it is and the way that a lot of us are used to. So realistically, that's just the way we want it to be. But let me know what your thoughts are, between the Super League and this new Champions League format. But let's have a look at the groups that are currently, or not currently, but they have been drawn out actually, because I feel like this year's Champions League group stages are a lot more interesting than in previous years. And whether that's down to the groups being a lot more difficult for certain teams, whether that's different teams being in it, a lot of teams that are usually in here are not. So for example, Juventus, you got Ajax who are not in here, instead you got PSV who are in here um as well. So realistically, there are some big teams missing out here, but there have also been a few interesting ones, like Newcastle United. Again, Liverpool have missed out. So it's a very, very interesting group stage, so to say the least. But I'm a Real Madrid fan, so let's just get rid of that group. Group C, Real Madrid are in. We are joined by Napoli, Braga, and Union Berlin. Now, I really like this group. Now, number one, I think it's the away trip. I think it's the fact that you can go to the Armando Maradona Stadium. You can go to Braga. You can go to Union Berlin, and obviously a lot of us know the story of Union Berlin. Recently they were just promoted, and I believe they finished. Was it not like 11th in their first season, then 7th, then 5th, then 4th, or something like that, right? And then they finally made it into the Champions League, and now they're playing at the Bernabeu. So a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, they were still in the second tier of Bundesliga, Bundesliga 2, and now they are playing against Real Madrid. So the atmosphere is going to be incredible. So that's really, really good. But it's also really, really bad because obviously it's going to be hard to, go away to a team like Union Berlin and pick up the points because of the atmosphere and the fans are at it. Of course, it's the first time they're in the Champions League, I believe. So their fans will be at it. Napoli, you know what? I really, really expected a big team because if you look at it, the fact that Real Madrid are in pot 2 means that it's going to be danger because you are bound to get, realistically, one of Bayern, Napoli, PSG, Man City, or Feyenoord, really, yeah. You can't get Sevilla, you can't get Barcelona, so you have to get one of the 5 other big teams. And except for Feyenoord and maybe Benfica, I think Bayern, Napoli, PSG, and Man City are very, very tough games either way. So I think that we could have ended with Bayern Munich, we could have ended with Man City, and we could have ended with PSG. But of course, we could have gotten Benfica and Feyenoord. But I think we've kind of gotten the middle tier. Now, I'm not trying to underestimate Napoli here. Of course, I'm not trying to. I think they're a fantastic team. But compared to Man City, I'm not scared. I'm more scared of Man City. I'm more scared of Bayern Munich. I'm more scared of PSG to a certain extent. So, to get Napoli, it's not a W, but it's not a huge L. I think it's an L, but I don't think it's a big L. So, that's just my opinions and my thoughts. Napoli away, it's gonna be fun at the Maradona, of course. They've got great players, Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, Zielinski. Of course, they've sold Kim Min-jae now. So, look, I think the atmosphere away in Naples is going to be great. I think we should not underestimate Braga. I think they could easily finish third in this group. And Union Berlin, like I said earlier on, they've just got into the Champions League. They were recently in the second tier of Bundesliga. Their fans will be loving it. This will be one of those memories for their fans. So realistically, they will just really be there, really. So as much as they might be technically the weakest team, even though they aren't, if you look at their signings, they've made some very good signings. Bonucci has been their latest, but I'm pretty sure they signed Volland, if I'm not wrong, as well. But overall, I think Union Berlin could compete for the top 2, but I think they might finish third. So I'm gonna go Real Madrid top, Napoli second, Union Berlin third, Braga fourth. But I think all 3 teams, realistically, could finish anywhere. I don't think Real Madrid and Napoli might get knocked out actually, but I think that Union Berlin and Braga could sneak in to second or third. I think, really, I think this is a very even group. I think Napoli and Real Madrid are good, but don't underestimate Braga and Union Berlin. And those are, like I said, some very good away fixtures to travel to, because you just get to visit a new country. You got Italy, you got Portugal, you got Germany in there, and the atmosphere is gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to Napoli Real Madrid, by the way. I'm really looking forward to that game because last season, a lot of Real Madrid fans were actually like, can we actually play Napoli? And this season we've actually got them. Let's talk about Group A. Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray. Now, I'm sure Bayern Munich is going to be favourites for this group. Harry Kane is there now. I mean, this team is incredible. Right? You talk about having one of the best teams in the world. I think Man City are number 1, but I think Bayern are second. I think you look at the team overall, right? You got Kane up top. You got Sane, Gnabry, Coleman that can rotate on the wings. You've got Musiala, one of the best youngsters in the world. You've got a midfield that could consist of Goretzka and Kimmich, but they've also brought in Konrad Laimer as well. In that team, in the midfield, the defense, Kim Min-jae and Matthias de Ligt, Alphonso Davies as well. they're just a very dangerous team, Bayern Munich, and with the addition of a Harry Kane, they're gonna be more dangerous. So I think Bayern will finish top. I think Manchester United will finish second. I think that's just logical. Um, yeah, they've got good individuals that can win them the game against Copenhagen and Galatasaray. Rashford, Bruno, Casemiro, Varane when he's back. These are the type of players that you want, because if you're having a bad day away in Denmark and you need someone, who knows, maybe Casemiro scores a late goal to give you all 3 points. So realistically, Manchester United second. Now don't sleep on Galatasaray just yet, because honestly, a trip away to Turkey is not easy. Now we talked about Union Berlin and the atmosphere. Galatasaray, the atmosphere there is crazy. It's actually crazy. So yeah, and they've made good settings. They've got Icardi, they've brought in Mertens. I mean, that was last season, but they've got in Zaha now as well. So don't underestimate Galatasaray. I think they will be third, and I think Copenhagen will be fourth in this group. Group B, Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, Lens. How are you feeling? Arsenal top, I think. Yeah, I think Arsenal top as well. Really. Now I've just obviously watched them against Manchester United, and even though they might not have been the best or the better team, they proved that even if you're not, at your best, you just need a one moment, and as long as you believe, you can get that goal to win the game. And after all, it's the result that really matters. Sometimes performance does not matter as much as compared to results, of course. But for me, I think Arsenal will get there. I think they'll finish top. Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Jesus, Declan Rice. This is a very exciting team. Saliba and Gabriel at the back as well. Very, very exciting. I'll go for PSV, I think, to finish second. Sevilla to finish third, because it's a typical Sevilla thing. And Lens to finish bottom. Now, it's not against Lens, but they've sold their 2 best players, Panda and Fofana. And they've still got good players. They've brought in Ali Wahi. They've got Medina at the back as well. Very underrated defender. But overall, I do believe that the other 3 teams are stronger. Maybe Sevilla might not finish third. Maybe they might finish bottom. Who knows? Group D, Benfica, Inter, Salzburg, Real Sociedad. I think Inter will finish top, but realistically, have they improved their team overall? I'm not so sure, but have they weakened? I don't know, man, but Skriniar has gone. That is a big loss. Onana has gone. They've brought in Jan Sommer, haven't they? So, yeah, I think it's been a bit of a downgrade, but I still think they'll get the job done. And then it's really a coin toss between the other 3s, and then Benfica, Salzburg, Real Sociedad. Maybe Real Sociedad can do something to represent Spain, because if you look at Champions League qualifications into the round of 16 and the knockout stages last few years, I think Real Madrid have done the most pride, really, in Spain. Maybe Barca and Atletico a few times, maybe Sevilla, but Real Madrid have really been the only team that have done Spain proud. So maybe Real Sociedad can change that. But Salzburg, could they do something? I think Benfica will be added as well. Yeah, that group is interesting. I've got Inter. Let's go Real Sociedad second. And I've got Benfica third. Salzburg fourth. Group E, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio, Celtic. Now, for Atletico Madrid, I think Celtic will be a big game, really, because we played Celtic last year, didn't we? And we did win both games, but the atmosphere when we went away to Celtic, it's on another level as well. Celtic have got a good atmosphere, like Union Berlin, like Galatasaray. So realistically, it'll be a tough game. But I think Atletico Madrid will do just well, just fine. We'll get through. I think Lazio will join them second. I think Feyenoord will get third, and I think Celtic will finish bottom. It's almost like an obvious prediction, but realistically, yeah, let's go with that. The group of death, Group F, the group of F. PSG, Dortmund, Milan, Newcastle United. How are we gonna predict this, guys? So, how are we going to separate these four teams? PSG have done, I think, pretty alright in the transfer window. They've brought a good amount of players. They've kept Mbappe, of course. That's the biggest signing they could have done. I think they've brought in Dembele. They've brought in Barcola. They've brought in Goncalo Ramos. Have they brought in Kolo Muani? Wait, I don't even know if Kolo Muani has left. Have they brought in Kolo Muani? Yes. Yes, he has. Yeah. So they've got Kolo Muani. They've got Goncalo Ramos. They've got Dembele. They've got Marco Asensio. They've got Mbappe. Like, they've got Barcola. Surely PSG can't mess this up now. Surely. I mean, they've always used Messi and Neymar as excuses, saying it's because of Messi that we couldn't qualify. It's because of Neymar we couldn't win the Champions League. Now, if they don't get at least to the semi-finals or the finals, that is a shambles of a season and a transfer window. The midfield, I don't think Verratti has left, but they've got Vitinha, Soler, Fabia, Danilo Pereira still in that team. So that's good. Marquinhos, Skriniar, Hakimi, Mendes, Donnarumma. That is one of the best sides as well. So you can't mess this up now, PSG. I've gone PSG top. And then it's a coin toss. Dortmund, Milan or Newcastle. I reckon Milan will finish second. I reckon Newcastle will finish third. And just have a feeling Dortmund might finish bottom. Milan have made smart signings. Okafor. They've brought in Chukwueze, Pulisic. I feel like I'm missing an attacking player. But obviously they still have Leao. Loftus-Cheek has come in. Obviously they've shot Tonali to Newcastle. But overall, as a team, I think and with depth, I think Milan are at a better place and position compared to Newcastle and Dortmund. So I've got them. I've got Newcastle third because, it's the first time in Europe in a while. I think they might just be able to get Europa League. And who knows if they can go on to the Europa League and maybe they might go on a good run to maybe win it. And Dortmund, I just don't know. Again, as we've talked about good atmosphere, yes, they've got good atmosphere. And yes, Newcastle have got good atmosphere. But Dortmund, I don't know what they've done in the window. I've heard Folklok from Werder Bremen, but that's about it. I don't know what else they've done. But all I know is they've lost Jude Bellingham. And that is a huge player to replace. So I've gone that. Group G, it's going to be Man City and RB Leipzig. I think Young Boys will come in third, and I think Red Star Belgrade will finish bottom. You don't really have to go through that group because what else is going to happen? And final group is the same. Barcelona and Porto will probably finish first and second. Shakhtar will go into the Europa League. But you never know with Toby Alderweireld's Royal Antwerp. But I think they'll finish bottom. Maybe they can finish second or third, but maybe. But let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.